Good evening to all. Good evening to all. All 49er fans, all NFL fans. What's up, y'all? Um, sorry being a little late. Sorry. I usually get it on there early enough, but got a little late today. Um, Apologize for that. Family situation going over here. So but yeah, we're here for the past, present, future, sponsored by the Regular 24/7, live on all major platforms. And we're going to be talking about news and new segments, NNS. We had NNS on Tuesday, so if you were there, then you know about some news that we talked about. So, and that's the facts. And we're going to be talking about, of course, news and analysis. All come right up. We're back in a little bit.
Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Yeah, you know what it is. Home of the West Coast offense. Frisco to Stockton, Modesto to Fresno, we get it poppin'. Reppin' my team, when you see me, you know everything. Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Go.
What's up, y'all? How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, boy, what a night. What a night has been. We're here to give you some news analysis and talk about, of course, the past, present, future. All right? So, of course, I'll bring the first guy in here since he was here before everybody else is. All the way from Connecticut, I'll give you Coach Richie B. Come on here, Coach.
What is going on, faithful?
And, of course, from California, catch him at Matt Dennis 9 and all the other ones too. I'm sure I can't remember them all right now. My brain's all over the place because of all the traveling I did. So, morning, Matt, man, come on in here.
What's up?
I did a lot of traveling the last 6 hours, guys. So,
wow.
Bear with me.
What's up?
So, Matt, man, please explain to everybody what your social medias again. Please might as well do it yourself because I can't remember anything right now.
Matt Dennis 9 on X, Matt Dennis 22 on Insta, and Matt 16 6758 blah, 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 on TikTok.
Is that how I sound like right now? What's up, retweeter? What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Just watching all this junk, with all the free agency stuff getting ready to go on, the draft information.
A lot.
There's just a ton going on right now. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I just saw Greg Rosenthal on X saying that, we'll get Debo for 2 years for $12 million. I'm like, no, I don't want no Debo.
15 minutes outside of Philadelphia, I give you Panama Queen. Come on here, Panama.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What is up, Panama?
All right. How are you?
All right.
Oh, boy. Another New Jersey native. I love New Jersey being here. Good. So, yeah, well, news and the latest one actually I just saw, actually. I don't know if it's fake or not, but of course, Max Crosby. He's buying a house in the Bay in California. He's buying a house. He bought a new house. So
good. He's not going to be on the 49ers, though.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it up for the hell of it, for a little topic. But, yep, he bought a house in California. Well, in the Bay, of course, near the Bay. That's what they're talking about. So I know it's going to be blown up probably, but
yeah. But you know what? He's the guy you get when you're one player away. And this team needs way too much stuff to be thinking about the one player away.
Definitely.
Exactly.
It'd be cool to throw him on the other side of Bosa and have a good time, but we need way too many things. We need linebackers. We need safeties. We need corners. We need linemen. We need a running back. We need 2 wide receivers. And and the list keeps going. We need way too many things to be worried about a 30-year-old defensive end who might have 2 years left, maybe 3. I don't see the point. And he's going to take 2 first-round picks to get. We actually need the picks.
And if y'all would know, the link for the show is in the comment section, so it's in there in case you guys want to pop on here and talk. All right. So, but yeah, a lot of news been going around. I know we covered a lot of it on NNS on Tuesday. So the 9 news segment was really good actually. I couldn't believe how good it was. Pretty good.
Cool.
So basically, we're just here to catch you guys up on the news and everything that's been going on. And like I said, this is our weekly shows we always do every Friday. So we're doing it Thursday because of Matt Mangs. He has to work tomorrow, so we're doing it for him. That's
There you go.
we love him. That's what we love him for. We love him like that, you know.
All right.
That's how we are.
So we don't want Debo, much as we may love him.
I love him. I just love him somewhere else.
And KB came back, had a all right year, but no Tyreek.
See ya. Wherever we trade Mac Jones, KB can go there. You can go there and not know the playbook, get called off sides, have to get timeouts called because you don't know what the play is and what the hell you're doing. We don't need guys like that on this team. We don't need guys like that. KB is a liability, man. I like him. Nice guy, killer dude. He's not a football player though, man. He's not a good football player. We need younger and faster, not old and slow. What the heck was Will Smith had that line in like Men in Black. I think he said like old and busted. They're old and busted. We don't need old and busted.
That's why I'm hoping Ricky gets his stuff together and Jordan Watkins can come in and make some kind of impact next year.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that. It's the only problem with that is there two smaller guys. I would love to have one just big dude, Juwan Jennings, but fast. There's just that big dude with mitts the size of that can, cup a football one hand. I just want one dude like that you just, I want to sign Kyle Pitts, but it's just, I keep hearing now that Atlanta might franchise him. And I'm like, man, I just want, Kyle Pitts, come here. You don't have to block anybody. Just go catch passes. Go catch passes, dude. But we need one big guy
basically
like that.
a bigger Vernon Davis, because he's got like that kind of speed.
Even Vernon, I mean, I'd even take a guy like, because I like Delaney Walker even better. Delaney Walker was a better all around like player. Vernon was a better blocker. Delaney was a way better receiver. I want a receiving tight end that can, especially since we don't know what Kittle's deal is, and I don't know what they're going to do with Tonjes. I think Tonjes is a restricted free agent, so hopefully they'll bring him back, and we'll do some. But we just need a reliable, big, short-handed receiver. I don't care if he's a tight end or a running back. I mean, or a wide receiver. But we need a number one. We need the X-Man. Ricky. If he hits weightlifting and hits the gym instead of doing TikTok dances, he might actually put on a little bit of weight and that might help him out a little bit. I mean, I lost my mind watching him doing those stupid TikTok dances when the guy should be in the gym. I want to see a workout TikTok. I don't want to see, I'm running around looking stupid.
Now, were they real or were they AI?
No, it was him. It was him trying to be funny.
Okay.
And he looked like he was running pretty good, 2 weeks after he couldn't catch a pass in a game. So I got a problem with that. That was what I had a problem with. Is it was like, wait a minute, you played in the game, you didn't catch a ball, but you could TikTok dance with a ski mask on. Okay, you go, kid. Even Rob Stats Guerrero from Gold Standard podcast. He's like, why is all the hate for Ricky Pearsall? I'm like, people don't hate Ricky Pearsall. They just want him to play football. Get on the field, play. Getting that soft reputation is not good for a football player.
Yeah.
You know, your nickname cannot be Charmin.
Yeah, you want to be a great receiver. Well, bro, you got to get in the weight room, get on that damn medicine ball, run, lift weights. You got to do something. You know,
And the sucky part about him too is when we drafted him, he's 25. He wasn't 22.
Right.
You know, so he stayed around college extra. So getting a guy like him to the second contract where you'd even want to keep him around, he's not going to be that guy. He's going to be his 5-year contract. He's going to be 30, and you're going to be like, bye. Nice knowing you. Garrison Hurst just liked my tweet.
Yeah, I know.
That's what's
I just
up.
saw it.
That's what's up.
Truth. Garrison Hurst 5.
Garrison Hurst, my man.
Tore it up in 1998. 98.
He was that was the year he led the Niners in rushing. He had the think about how long he had that record before Frank finally broke it. I mean, I think it was 8 years before, because Frank did it in 06, right? I think it was 06.
yeah.
Mhm.
And but they 98 they win that Super Bowl if Garrison Hurst doesn't break that ankle. We don't even remember who the Dirty Birds are if Garrison Hurst doesn't break that ankle. Dirty Birds, nobody even remembers that crap. I mean, they don't remember it now, but it's even worse. That dude was the nastiest football player on that team in 98, and that team was pretty stacked. I would put the 98 team up against a 94 team, and that'd be a good game.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That'd be a good game. Because, I mean, they were stacked. And think about it, Jerry Rice is still playing on that team. And I felt like Garrison Hurst was the engine that made that team run. He was the engine that made that team run.
And
yeah,
T.O.
I mean, that was Jerry, T.O., J.J. Stokes as your receivers, and Jerry. You know, I mean, and Garrison was just tearing it up, man. He was so damn good.
And Brent Jones was still on the team.
Yeah. I mean, you go back and you watch some of the games from that 98 season because they're all over YouTube and stuff. Oh, man. And Garrison, he ran so many patterns out of the backfield, too. I think that is like very unknown about his game for people who are casual fans or someone, you know, younger fan who, you know, there's a lot of young fans in this fan base who don't remember this team being as good as it was back then. You know, and he was so good, man. He's my favorite running back in the history of the team since I've been watching it. He's just so good. And I love Christian. I love Christian, but man, Garrison Hurst, dude, that dude.
Yeah, but he was
a dog, man.
Look, Garrison was great, but he wasn't as good as Roger. He wasn't good as Ricky Waters. He just wasn't. Like
I'd take him over Ricky. But Ricky is a better receiver, man. Ricky was a really, really great all-around back. He was really good.
Ricky was one of the closest running backs that we've had that was doing this similar to Roger Craig and CMC. He was running for 1,000 yards, and he was having like
a lot of balls,
60 catches for like
he was nasty.
700, 800. He was close. Like he had really, really good years. Like after his rookie year, like when he figured it out, those couple years before he went and ran for the money, he was really outstanding. Like he was a top 3. He was a top 3 running back in the NFL during that time.
Yeah, I wish he would have been a career Niner. I really liked him. He was really damn good.
He was a big back too, a tall.
He was tall.
Back.
He was tall and he was lethal,
that's why
man.
I liked it. Mm-hmm.
He was tall and he ran hard, man. I like guys that run hard and run behind their pads. And even though he was tall, he ran behind his pads. He wasn't a straight up and down runner. I don't like those guys, man. Kevin Barlow, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
His knees were in front of his shoulder pads. He ran so straight up and down.
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't stand Kevin Barlow. Ugh.
Yeah, I was like,
he was the softest big guy I've ever seen as far as a running back goes.
I was probably the biggest member of his fan club. Is like
Kevin Barlow.
I don't know. I just thought I thought like, man, the guy gets size. If he can just figure out, just like you gotta move a little bit differently and just hit people. Just when you run, hit people. Okay, just put your head down, dude. Like but he didn't run like that. He wasn't trying to. He wasn't, because he's actually a fullback in a running back spotty.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, he should have been running like Mike Allstott.
Yeah, but Allstott ran behind his pads. He ran like he was a freaking rhino in those DC or whatever comic book movies. He was the rhino, man. Head down and running through people.
Yeah.
He was a problem too.
I guess he just wasn't a team player, and if he would have just listened to some coaching, he would have still been on the 49ers. Like, we wouldn't have gotten rid of him. Like he would have been able to continue his career, but and I've heard some stories about him. Like, I knew a dude that used to drive him around in a limo, and he's drinking all the alcohol. He was just,
hey man, young and dumb. Not everybody can handle it.
Yeah, he wasn't as bad as Alden Smith, but he was still pretty bad.
Yeah, Alden Smith. Oh,
I know. It hurts me. It hurts me to have to, because, like, bro, you could be the all-time 49er sack leader right now.
Alden Smith was the best linebacker I'd ever seen since Lawrence Taylor.
Oh my God, he was so good. It's just like pitiful,
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor is probably the best defensive football player I've ever seen, and Alden Smith was right there with him. He was right there with him. It was crazy.
And he was young too. Now that's the part.
I think I know people will disagree, but I will put Ronnie with Lawrence Taylor any day. And as far as the best 49ers linebacker, Alden had some competition, because there was another guy that was drafted in 2000 who could do it all. He was a pass rusher and he could cover, because he locked Tony Gonzalez down. Julian Peterson. He could cover.
Julian was nasty. He was a really good player. Yeah. I would never throw Alden into the fire, because he didn't play for us long enough. That's kind of like me. Even that's why I don't throw Kaepernick into any of those quarterback things, because I'm like, look, he was a shooting star. He wasn't really like he wasn't consistently a good player. So that's why I don't really throw him in there either. He was only a couple of years with us, so I don't count those guys I don't count the shooting stars.
Right.
I seen a report that the Miami Dolphins might be looking to bring Jimmy G over there.
Yeah, I saw that today too. It was they wanted what's that guy's name from the Packers?
Malik Willis.
Yeah, they're going to bring Willis
from Liberty. He was balling out in Liberty.
Yeah, so they were going to bring Jimmy and Willis there and let him duke it out, which I think is cool. If they run a similar system to Kyle, Jimmy will play well in that.
Right.
Jimmy's not a bad quarterback. If you put him in a spot, he's a half the field, one read quarterback. So if you give him that, he will make the throws. He's got a good enough arm, and he reads quick. He likes to throw. He throws picks because he threw a lot of picks in this offense, because the offense is a no risk it, no biscuit offense. You have to be able to drop the ball in between spots, but you're always throwing over the middle of the field. When you throw over the middle of the field, you're going to throw more picks. That's just part of the deal. Like I said, Bruce Arians, man, no risk it, no biscuit. You got to chuck it over the middle to get what you want out of it. This is a big play offense, and you're going to throw more picks. And people talk about Brock's picks. I'm like, look at the touchdown to interception ratio. As long as it's 2-1 in this offense, you're doing good. You're definitely doing well in this offense because of how much risk you have thrown over the middle. It's just part of the deal. So I got a lot of problems with people who slam Jimmy, especially since guy won a lot of freaking games for us.
And a lot of those picks that Jimmy and Brock throw, they're lucky picks, bro. Like, a guy got a fingertip on the ball and then somebody came out of nowhere and picked it off.
Yeah,
most of the picks those guys throw are fluke freaking picks. They're not all like, oh man, he diagnosed that play really well. he made a huge jump on the ball and ran it back and picked it off for a touchdown. No.
Well, Jimmy
got
did
lucky.
throw some to straight to linebackers right down the
Yeah,
middle.
he did,
I will
he
say
did.
that with Jimmy.
He did.
But-
He did.
But at the same time, he wasn't the same after his ACL. Before the ACL, he was lethal. He was good with his feet. He ran a little bit. You know, I got scared because he was kind of soft as far as getting hit. He'd be out for plays and stuff like that. But right before that ACL, he was playing good football. And the other thing is he was playing really good football after Trey went down. And right after we got CMC, Jimmy was playing good football. Jimmy with CMC, I thought he was lethal with CMC. If he came back and was ready to go in that Super Bowl, I think we win that Super Bowl with Jimmy playing quarterback from us, and we don't even know who Brock Purdy is.
Yeah, because that one pass
because he's still backing him up.
CMC caught that pass. That was so beautiful. And they even had that photo of that catch. That was a beautiful catch.
Yeah,
that was CMC's welcome to Niners Day.
Yep. It's crazy. Like I said, I thought before Jimmy went down, he's playing good football, and I'm not gonna knock him going to the Raiders because that's the Raiders, man. That's the shittiest franchise in football.
He got another $70 million just for going over there.
Good for him. Look, dude, that dude's made Jimmy Garoppolo's made like $250 million playing football, and he's chilling.
300.
Is it
over
that much?
300?
I did.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude.
Because the Rams, when he went to the Rams gave him, I think they gave him a cool 25.
Because I thought I think he got 10 for last year. I think it was 10 last year, but still 10 to hold the clipboard for Stafford. Sweet.
Yep.
I forgot how much the Raiders paid him.
Oh God, I think it was 3 years, 75 or something like that. I think that's what the original contract was.
It was like 3 years, 70 or 75 million.
I'll tell you something right now. If John Gruden was the coach when Jimmy went there, they would have done fine. That team would have actually probably been good. Say what you want about Gruden and whether or not you like him, you hate him, you love him. You hate him, you like him. If Gruden was the coach of that team, he'd get something out of Jimmy. Gruden is a quarterback whisperer. I mean, think about the guys he got games out of. He got games out of Brad Johnson.
Hey, don't stop hating on my boy Brad. Brad was good in Minnesota. He was
not elite. And Gruden.
I didn't say he was elite, but he was a Pro Bowl quarterback in Minnesota,
solid QB.
and he was a Pro Bowl quarterback in Tampa. I don't care.
He was a solid quarterback.
No, I know. I'm just saying the narrative about him. Oh, he's one of the worst quarterbacks ever to win the Super Bowl.
No.
Bro,
Trent Dilfer's the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Like, bro, he was dicing them up. No, but they say he's one of the worst to win a Super Bowl. It's like, no, bro. I'm sorry. If you're a 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback, you're a good quarterback. I don't care. You know, that's not me being a Florida State fan because he didn't really play at Florida State. He was Charlie Ward's backup, and he was a basketball player too. He was the starting shooting guard for Florida State back then.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, so he's a good athlete, and you know, it's like Minnesota. I think Minnesota was stupid. Like they were like, oh, we think Wade Wilson and all the those other guys are really good. It's like, no, you guys are dumb. Like you should have been starting Brad Johnson like right away as soon as you drafted him. But
I try to remember because there was what was the quarterback on Minnesota back in the 80s? Because I remember there was the starter, there was Wade Wilson, and Rich Gannon was number 3. And I can't remember who the what the heck
what's his name? The announcer. He's in that Adam Sandler movie with Rob Schneider.
Sean something.
Yeah.
Sean Salisbury.
Yeah. He was in that movie with Rob Schneider, and he's like, "Oh, and we'll beat your ass." He's like, "Yeah, right."
Sean Salisbury. He was a way better announcer than he was a quarterback.
Oh yeah, he was a terrible quarterback. I'll put Wade Wilson like one of the worst. I'll say this right now. As much bad stuff as my boy Christian Ponder gets, for being that first round pick from out of Florida State, he wasn't as bad as Sean Salisbury. Sean Salisbury was horrible. Like
he was not that good. Sean Salisbury was terrible. He was terrible. He I don't know what his deal was.
He was like I don't know if he was a free agent or if he was like just like back in the day when the draft was really long and he was like the last player picked, or he was a free agent rookie. But I'll take
not very good.
I'll take Wade Wilson and Rich Gannon and Brad Johnson and whoever else over him anytime.
Right.
Just like when people say, some 49er quarterbacks are bad, like, yeah, you know what? As much as I like Trey Lance, he wouldn't be anywhere even in the top 25 quarterbacks of the 49ers history.
Did y'all guys see that top 100 they put out?
Yeah.
For last year?
Yeah, 2025. Oh my God. I was like, how they have McKivitz higher than Brock Purdy.
That's
they
funny.
Put Kittle. They put Kittle at like 54, and they put McCaffrey at like 30.
And that's wrong. That is totally wrong.
That's wrong. But Christian should be higher than that, even though they spammed it. It's because his yards per carry was so bad this year. But I'll tell you, to jump back on Trey should have went to Canada and played. He should have went and played. The problem for him is he needed playing time. You can't go on 10 college starts and think that you're just going to walk into the NFL and tear it up. That was the biggest mistake on his part. Instead of going to the Chargers, he should have said, "Hey, the whatever Alouettes, let's go play some football."
Winnipeg Blue Bombers or something.
Yeah, he needed to go play. He needed to go play some football. He needs to play. Being a backup for some team, you're not getting any real reps, and you're not playing. You don't get better at football by practicing. You got to get better at football by playing, and especially quarterback.
He'll probably. I mean, I don't know where he's gonna go at now. I guess he's a free agent now or whatever.
Oh, is Trey a free agent? I didn't know. I didn't know if it was a 1 year deal.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's a 1 year deal then.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But what I liked about that, the all-time 100 or whatever they had, whatever it was like 5 49ers quarterbacks all made it. That's all I was worried about. That's all I was worried about. Especially Joe and Steve being in the top 10. I loved it.
As it should be. I mean, look, some people could argue if you said Joe's best years were 87 through 90, right? Let's say Joe's best years were 87 to 90, and you took Steve's 92 to 95.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue Steve Young's 92 to 95 goes head to head with Joe from 87 to 90. I mean, those before Joe got his head knocked off by Leonard Marshall, Joe was playing his best football. They were going for a three-peat, as far as that goes. And then in 92, Steve Young wins MVP, and they go, three NFC championships in a row with Dallas.
Right.
Get 1 out of 3. And Steve played great in all those games. So I mean, it's tough. And then the late resurgence of Steve from 95 to 98 when they started, because after the Cowboys fell off and they were playing against the Packers for a couple of years. I mean, that team, those Steve Young years were pretty darn good.
6 straight passing titles.
What's that?
6 straight passing titles.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, because I was on with Grant Cohn one night, and I said to him, because he was doing one of those live shows, And I got on there and I said, you know, Grant, I'm like, if you asked your pops, because Lowell was there. That's the thing. Lowell was there. You know what I mean? I said, look, if you had to ask Lowell, you know, 92 to 95 Steve Young versus 87 to 90 Joe Montana, who you pick it? And he just goes, my dad will take Joe. My
And
dad will
Grant
take
be
Joe.
like, I'll take Steve. Grant be like, I'll take Steve.
Grant will be like, I take Steve. Because I know that Steve Young's Grant's favorite football player because he met him when he was a kid. Lowell introduced him to him. Super Bowl year, and I guess the Super Bowl year in '94. I guess Grant was like 7 or something like that. And during Lowell was interviewing Steve Young, and he got to be there with him. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, as 49er fans, especially when you're someone, you know, my age who's been around from all the 80s stuff all the way to now, it's pretty crazy. You know, we've been pretty lucky. Well, except for the last 30 years, but you know.
That's who they should have had that on the documentary was Lowell and the other reporter at that time.
Oh,
they should have
Ira
had
Miller.
those two. Yeah, they should have had those guys.
Ira Miller definitely should have been on there.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. I'm surprised with the Raiders connections because Brady produced this. That he didn't have some Al Davis stuff on there too, because Bill Walsh and Al Davis were actually friends.
Right.
And I'm kind of bummed on that. And I would have thought that Brady, since he's the one that produced the whole thing, that he would have had some of that stuff. But the fact that they didn't have some of those guys, even a guy like Rod Brooks and stuff like that, who's still around. Rod Brooks was covering the team, not back that far, but Matt Miyoko wasn't on there either. I don't think. I've only seen the first episode. I haven't seen the other 3. But even like Matt Miyoko, why can't I think? Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy was covering the team back then too.
Right. So
those guys could have been in on the, you know, to get some interviews and perspective and stuff like that. Because you know those are the OGs. As far as the guys that covered that team.
I went back and I said I wanted to laugh this one night. I just wanted to go back and watch those end of when they fired Harbaugh and when they fired Tom Sula and when they fired Chip Kelly. I went back to all 3 of those press conferences when, you know, Jed was there looking stupid and Bulky was sitting there looking stupid. So the reporters at that time who was digging in their ass, they need to bring those guys back now. Because
remember when Lowell asked Jed? Remember when Lowell asked Jed?
Exactly.
You know, basically trying to hold the owner accountable.
You talking about we can't fire owners?
Yeah. Oh, Lowell Cohen, man. You know, it's so funny. Lowell, you either hate him or you love him. Because back in the day, everybody hated Lowell Cohen because he was the only guy that would basically ask the hard question. He was the only guy that wasn't a homer. As far as, you know, covering a team. He's like, hey, this is jacked up. What's going on? And
Radnich wasn't a homer.
No, Gary was, I always felt like Gary was more of like a comedian than he was a guy covering a team. He was always cracking jokes and kind of, you know, being his thing. And that's his shtick, and that's cool. But the thing with Lowell Cohen was actually Bill Walsh's friend. They were actually friends. So that's the biggest problem with this whole Rise of the Niners thing is that, you know, if get stuff about Walsh from guys who actually knew him and were friends with him and knew about him. And another big problem with this is they barely talk about George Seifert, which is a travesty.
Right. Exactly.
In this Rise of the 49ers thing, the fact that they don't, maybe it's because they were trying to keep it more 80s centric. But George Seifert was coaching on all those teams, and then he went on to just win 2 Super Bowls afterwards. You know, a lot of people will say, hey, look, that first team was, you know, tailor-made and gave to him by Walsh. But no, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. George Seifert earned that shit. He was a great coach, man. He was a great coach.
That's what I was surprised that they didn't have him on there.
And George Seifert's still alive. They could have interviewed him too, and they didn't, which is stupid.
I didn't understand that either.
What is he? He's like 80 something.
Right.
look, unless he's in a wheelchair drooling in a home somewhere, which he's probably not. Interview the guy, man. They had Carmen Policy there. They had Eddie D. Come on, get these guys on there. Especially a guy that was so important to it. I mean, if Tom Brady's gonna be there, we can at least have George Seifert there. I don't need a 6-year-old picture of Tom Brady.
And then the fact that he's
wearing
not
his Joe
even
Montana jersey.
the fact that he's not even in the Hall of Fame, that tells you another thing. Him and Mike Shanahan both ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's tough for coaches because of the categories, because they lump everybody into that contributor category.
That's stupid.
So I think that stuff gets backlogged, and they only allow I think they allow 2 contributors and up to 5 regular players. So it makes it really tough, and it's easy for it to get backlogged, and especially in like when you go in an era, or you get a team that has a ton of great players, and all of a sudden all those guys are getting, and then you have that one guy, and I'm using Roger Craig as the example here. All the guys for the 80s Niners that got in the Hall of Fame, and there's Roger Craig just sitting there.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Hall of Fame offensive linemen from that team that didn't get in.
And they're not gonna, or it's going to be 2073, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, let's put in this guy from 100 years ago. He really was good.
Well, all those offensive line, like the main ones, Jesse, all those guys, Harris, all those guys should be in. I don't care what anybody says. All those guys were all pros, and several time over Pro Bowlers. They all deserve to be in there. It's basically like they're punishing us because they gave all those other teams extra Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but it happened to the Cowboys and the Steelers too, man. The teams that were before us that had the dynasties, there's players on those teams that probably should be in the Hall of Fame too that aren't. They just got backlogged, and then all of a sudden they get old and everybody forgets about them, and that's just a sad but true.
I mean even Jim Plunkett's not even in the Hall of Fame, and he won Super Bowl. That's crazy.
Yeah, but he didn't really have
he was never superstar.
He had a roller coaster kind of career. Like even me, look, Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Nope.
Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer at all. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
He was a really good quarterback.
He had 2 hot streaks.
But I will never say he's as good as like Joe Montana or anybody like that. He's not.
No, not even close. But that's what I mean. He had 2 hot streaks in his career, and he hit at the right time and won 2 Super Bowls. Good for him. But he's not a Hall of Famer. But he'll probably get in because his brother's named Peyton.
Now, do you think Terry Bradshaw is a Hall of Famer? Even though he has 4.
But you know what? He was the golden boy on the best team of football. You're going to get in just for that, because honestly, I think Snake is a better quarterback than Terry Bradshaw ever was. But
that defense, man, oh my goodness,
they're nasty. But then you had, but it's funny, but because I'm trying to remember, did Stallworth finally get in the Hall of Fame? I can't even remember if Stallworth got in the Hall of Fame ever. Because there was a guy right there. I don't think he was in for the longest time.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, so he had all the stats. Lynn Swann made all the cool jumping up in the air stuff, and did all the cool stuff, and all the jumping out like this and this and this. But Stallworth was the guy getting all the yards and doing all the grunt work. He was basically, I don't want to call him John Taylor, but he kind of was. But Lynn was all flash.
Yeah, that team had some Hall of Famers though.
Yeah, you had Franco, you had Rocky Blyer. I mean, that team was just killer. And then the defense.
Ham and Lambert, Mean Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood.
I
What's the
still
name that
remember
used
that
to play
Mean
for
Joe
the
Green commercial for Coke.
Dwight Hicks? Dwight Hicks. Shoot, who's there was Mel Blount.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. I
that
mean, those.
what's the name? That offense, the center, the one that just that's a Hall of Famer. He just died. Mike Webster.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, there's like 10 guys right there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Those guys, those are. But the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Steelers all ran into that with their dynasties. Is those guys? You get the weird guy that's not in the Hall of Fame. Even though he was a keystone. To the team.
Yeah, and Dwight Hicks was a great player on the 49ers.
Yep.
As part of the first couple Super Bowls, I think. I know he was at least on the first one.
Yeah. So because that was Ronnie, Hicks, Carlton Williamson, and who was the other guy?
Wright.
Eric Wright. Yeah. I mean that was the nastiest back end, and those dudes punish guys coming out. And did you guys see Grit Code this week? Did you watch Grit Code podcast this week?
I watched like a clip of it. They had Troy Brown on there, right?
Terrell Brown, yeah.
Terrell Brown on there.
Yeah, man, that was a really, really good interview, man. If you get a chance to watch it, man, it was so good. Man, I don't know, man. The more I sit down and listen to Dante Whitner, I just get sucked into the vortex, man. That dude is so good. And Terrell, man, he came on. It was so great. He was so humble, because he kind of had a mixed bag 49er career, and he was so humble and so, he just laid it all out there, man. It was a really good watch, to see P. Willie and Dante just kind of they just talking about those years and if you are a football junkie, it is so fun to listen to those guys talk, and you learn a lot listening to those guys. It was so great, man. I love it. I can't wait to see what Dante does with that channel, because his insight is just fantastic.
Now, see, that's what you want to see. You want to see interviews and their side of the story from that particular time, that hardball time. That's what I like to see players from, just talking about what they were going through and how they played and this, that, and the other from that particular era.
Yep. And Dante's so bright. It's so funny. I mean, you listen to him and he's like, hey, Pat, what's Vic Fangio going to call in this situation? And Pat's like, and Dante goes, stupid, he's going to call this. And Pat's like, It's so funny. It's so funny. Dante's brutal, man.
They got to get Bowman on there.
Yeah. That'll be good. I don't know, man. I was bummed. I was bummed when we got Bowman initially, because I really liked Takeo Spikes.
Yeah.
I was when we got Takeo Spikes, I was like, oh, that's my dude. That's my dude. Because him and Pat, they were so good together. I loved them. And I liked Bowman. I just like Spikes better. I don't know why. I just did. And I thought Bowman was good. And he covered a lot of ground, man. His legs were so long, he didn't look like he was moving that fast, but man, he covered a lot of ground.
Man, that was the defense. I love that defense, man. Oh.
And actually, yeah, because they were joking about Terrell Brown. They were joking about when Dante knocked Pierre Smith out in the Saints game. He goes, he was like, "You knocked that MFer cold."
Pierre Thomas?
Yeah.
Pierre Thomas? Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny because they were laughing about it. And Terrell, he's like, that's the hardest I've ever seen anyone get hit. He goes, he was knocked out before he went down.
Terrell Brown and what's his name? Carlos Rogers, who we got.
Oh, yeah, they need to bring him on there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And like I said, that era, there was a lot of really likable guys on that team. And I mean, they had Deshaun Goldson on a couple weeks ago, and he was awesome too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to him and Dante talk. Oh man, that was so fun because it was like, what are you guys trying to do out there? We're trying to knock MFers out. That was
That's
it.
how
That was the line. It was like,
That's what you wanted.
Yeah,
That's
Vernon
just what you
Vernon Davis's thing came across my TikTok the other day, and he was talking to Cowboy, and just listen to Cowboy. He's like, well,
wow.
blah, 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 so he was just saying how good of a team, he's like, man, Alden could have been, just, he's like,
It was
I was doing everything, to help him, but he just couldn't fight that demon. He just,
yeah, dude. It stinks. But I mean, that pair, those two together, that was just the most amazing thing.
Yes.
When they would
other than BY, Cowboy is my favorite 49ers defensive tackle ever. I know he played both, but let's just, I mean, for argument's sake, I'd say, he's a defensive tackle because he did play more D tackle than D end, right?
Yeah, but the only reason is because we were running that 3-4. That was the only reason he was playing that.
Right.
Yeah,
that was the only reason.
But he's the one of those guys. He's so strong, even if he's under like he was throwing guys around. Like people wanted, Justin Smith wasn't that good. Oh,
shit.
What are you talking about?
Why do you think?
Exactly.
Why do you think Alden Smith was able to run free?
Contract? Why do you think he got a 6-year contract for like $100 and something million? If he wasn't that good coming from the Bengals.
Why do you think Alden Smith was running free? Is because Justin was getting all the double teams.
I love that. I loved him, Justin Smith and
Justin Smith and Bryant Young. Justin Smith and Bryant Young are the same player.
Yes.
So I don't care what anybody said. Cowboy is a Hall of Famer.
I'm surprised, a guy like him. The problem is if you don't win the big one, they overlook a lot of guys like him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had a solid career in Cincinnati before we signed him, and then he had a solid ass time with the Niners.
Yes.
But they never won a Super Bowl.
He was great. No, he was great with us though. Like he was.
Yep.
He was a like a Pro Bowler every year with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
no doubt, he's a stud, man. And that's when, and I mean, we were playing Fangio's 3-4, so during that era, and I mean, like I said, he was getting up so many double teams that Alden was just running around with nobody on him. It made it easy. He was so damn fast; he'd just be right there. Plus, he covered a lot of ground too. It only took him like 3 steps to get to a quarterback. He was crazy.
And he had that look, he had that look on his face, like he never smiled. He always just had that that mean look on his face all the time. That's what you want, though. Intimidation.
Oh man, it's funny. I'm thinking of LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out." That's him, just running, because he was that good, man. He was so good. That defense was nasty. When you start looking back in the because didn't we have was Clements playing quarterback corner for us then? Was Nate Clements in there at some point too? Nate Clements?
He was. We signed him from Buffalo, but he was.
Yeah. He was always getting beat deep.
Yeah.
He was good. He was a good run defender, but he always got beat deep.
Yeah, and he never really made any big time plays that won games for us like he should have been. Like he should have been as good a run defender as he should have had some of those, the game's tied at the end of the fourth quarter, he sacks the quarterback or he strips the running back and runs it back for a touchdown. But he never had any of those plays,
Nah, he never really did. Like I said, he was solid, not great, and then you had to watch for him because he was always peeking in the backfield. That was his problem. He was always peeking in the backfield, looking to run up, and then as soon as he did, it was like boom, touchdown.
And he always got his picks when it didn't matter. Like we're down
Yeah,
20.
he had a lot of junk picks. Totally true.
Sorry about that, guys. I have a situation over here, so my kid's sick,
And
so
you know,
Oh,
so I'm
Sorry
trying to
about
take
that,
care of him. Sorry.
there's another
That's all
corner
right,
that,
guys, go ahead,
that
continue. Go ahead, continue. Go ahead. You're good. Hey, Matt.
there's another corner. There's another corner that I really like. He doesn't get enough love. He was drafted in 2004. So I think he was we'd already gotten rid of him. Way before Shante Spencer. I think he was really good. I
always thought he was a little undersized. He was a little undersized for the time. He was a little undersized. He was solid, but he was undersized. Because I liked Culliver better than Shante Spencer.
Well, as much as I like Culliver, he was just he's always that bad PI penalty. Always that bad. Like,
yep.
And there was another guy I wanted to like too, who was before, who was in 2002, Mike Rump. I wanted to like the guy, even though he's from Miami. I hate Miami. I wanted to like the guy, but Mike Rump was like, Mike Rump roast.
Yeah, but the whole time you were just, you know what? You were like you were saying some swear word, because every time he messed up, you were just like, Rump.
Oh my God. As a Florida State fan, I hate Miami, and I was trying, I was like, come on, man, come on, dude, get a pick six, something, force a fumble. But every time, especially like at a bad time when we needed a big stop, boom, touchdown.
During those years too, I mean, that defense was a thumper defense, man. They just pounded people. It was one of those things. I think there was a stat back in the day where it was talking about the team's records after they played the 49ers. And the Niners had led the league, and the teams that played them in the next week, they had the most losses after they played the 49ers. Because they were basically beat up after playing the team, especially the Harbaugh years. Man. Harbaugh and Fangio, this team was just they're knocking fools out. I don't even know a better way to say it. They were pounding people. They were like, oh man, we don't want to play those guys. Especially when Whitner and Goldson were out there, man. It was like the 80s with Goldson and Whitner out there, because guys didn't want to go over the middle, because they knew they were gonna get freaking hit.
Lit the up.
that
don't try to shame me, Ryan. I just said lit the up.
I feel like on defense right now, we need a guy like that, and we don't have one. We need an enforcer. We need that dude that's got some dog in him, and we don't have that guy.
I think we do. He just needs to work. He just needs to work on some things. Mustafa,
he's the smallest guy out there. He's the smallest guy out there. His name's Upton Stout.
But he thumps guys, bro. He thumps guys.
Yeah, but Mustafa, you can't play him. You can't play him all the time, dude, because he's such a liability in passing game. He hits hard. He really does. But he hits hard, but he doesn't wrap. So guys bounce off of him and get 5 more yards after he hits them. Upton Stout's our guy, and the problem is he's the littlest guy out there, 5'9", 180 pounds.
Man,
he's the only dog we have out there.
His athletic ability though, that he is still he's that dude. He's like the Spud Webb on when they go play ball, he's dunking the basketball.
What they call that little running back, the muscle hamster or something like that? That's Upton Stout, man. He's the new muscle hamster.
Yep.
Oh, Doug, dude. The dude from he went to Boise State. Doug.
Doug Martin.
Yeah,
right?
he just passed.
Doug Martin.
Yeah, he just passed. Yeah.
But Upton Stout's that dude. I mean, like I want CJ West to be that guy, but I want it. It needs to be like a linebacker or somebody that is calling plays. And Fred, man, as good as he is, he's not that dog. You know,
Nope.
he's
Nope.
not. He's just that dude. He just goes and knocks fools out, and that's great. But you need that guy that's like the pace setter, the tempo guy that gets everybody juiced up. And I just don't see Fred as that guy.
No,
We
but
need that guy.
Fred's the guy that makes big plays when we need him.
Yeah, he leads by example. He leads by example.
You know, he's gonna stick somebody. He's gonna force fumble. Somebody else gonna recover it. He's gonna get an interception. If he has the space, he's running it back for a touchdown. You know, he might get a sack. I mean, he can do whatever, you know, at any point.
So I wish that Fred had Dre Greenlaw's personality in Fred's body, because Dre's body's busted. You know, we need that fiery guy. We need that fiery guy.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with being the quiet. Like he's a quiet leader.
Oh,
he's like, you know, I don't need to say shit because you guys already know what it is. You guys know. Like, watch what I do. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Why do I gotta get in your butt, dude? Why? You know, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here.
Yeah, but you need one of those accountability guys, though. One of those guys that when a guy misses a play, he gets out in his face and says, "Hey, dummy, let's fix this. Let's go." Or when a guy's down, he grabs him and says, "Let's go, get out here." I don't want to see Renardo Green running off on the sidelines.
Yeah, I think Fred is the, you know, let's go. I think he is that guy. I think he is the guy that says, "Hey, man, you gotta do this better." I think he is. I think he does give people. I think he does give people a pat on the butt, or like, you know, come on, man, just it's okay. You made a mistake. Regroup. Let's go. I think he is that guy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we do on defense this year. I want to see if we, because we're not really set up to do a 3-4, you know, mess up at all. But I think it'll be fun if we do some 5 on the front line alignment, and, you know, 5-1, and it should be fun to kind of mess around with that stuff a little bit, especially with the guys we have.
I want to see what the new DB coach does.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm curious. Because is he gonna get something out of Tig the way Wilkes did? I mean, Tig played well under Wilkes,
right?
You know, and he was roller coastery last year. He was. I don't even want to count the year Sorensen was the D coordinator, because he was a joke. So I don't even want to count him. So, you know, because I mean, I'm hearing rumors that Tig might get traded. Renardo Green might get traded.
I wonder, are we going to re-sign him or whatever?
Well, what's Tig's got? What, 1 or 2 more years left on his rookie deal? I think one more year.
Yeah,
I think he's one more. So if they're going to trade him, it'd be now. Renardo Green, I'm hearing they want to trade Renardo Green too, because supposedly Morris likes bigger corners, kind of like Gus Bradley. Right. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a market for him coming off this season. He had kind of a roller coastery season. It's tough to rate our corners right now because our pass rush was so bad. So those guys were out there. Those guys were out there on an island. Because I mean, I really thought Demo had a mediocre kind of season.
I did,
you know,
too.
but is it because the pass rush was so terrible, or is it just he had a bad year? I mean, he got a lot of, you know, skirmish stuff and kind of got wrapped up in some shit I didn't really care for. As far as that, it seemed like his head wasn't in the game, which I don't really like. You know, but, you know, and should he be playing the slot instead of outside? Maybe we get a better outside corner and let him play the slot. I don't know. It's kind of a tough go. We got a lot of we don't have enough linebackers right now. I mean, if we get rid of D Winters, I would happily sign off on that. but we got to have an upgrade. And I just Tatum Bethune, you know, he's a backup. He's not a starter.
How about Fred with mix and match with Nick, Martin, and Tatum?
I mean, we don't know about Nick Martin yet. That's the problem. Because Tatum, he's a good run defender. He can't cover, so that's a problem. Nick Martin, we don't know if he can cover yet. He did a little bit in the preseason. He got better by the third game of the preseason, but then he was concussed for a month. Now, I don't know if he was really concussed or if they were just using that as an excuse to tuck him over in the injury protocol so that they could, you know, keep a roster spot open. You know, that's the tough part of that, because I think that's what happens to a lot of guys. They don't want to put the guy on a practice squad. They don't want to put him on IR. But if they throw him in concussion protocol, you can leave him over there and let him hang out and not have him count against roster spots. I believe that's the way it works. And it's like, so Nick Martin's still a big question mark. That was the problem with last year's draft class. Those guys on the team, you know, even with, you know, question mark players on this team right now. Jordan Watkins, question mark. Jacob Coward, question mark. Nick Martin, question mark. Jordan James, question mark. You know, you know, it's tough. You know, even, you know, I mean, when you look at it all, I mean, the only guys that got a lot of play, we know what Michael is. Hopefully he comes back off the ACL and he's fine. We know what Collins is. We kind of know what CJ West is, but I'll tell you what would be fun is if we go 5-man front, put CJ West on the nose and get Collins and maybe Keon White right and left of him, and then Bosa and Michael on the outside. That's a pretty dope ass 5-man front. And then Fred plays behind. Then Fred plays behind that, and then we've got, you know, our DBs. I'm not hating that look. I'm not hating that look.
You know, that's crazy.
You know, that's a pretty dope ass freaking, you know, starting lineup if you want to run a 5-man front.
And then we got Kevin Givens and whoever else as the backup.
Yeah, because I mean, look, Elliott's not going to come back. Kalia Davis probably isn't going to come back. They're both free agents. Yetur Gross-Matos isn't going to be back.
Yeah, they all want too much money.
But I don't want Yetur on the team anyway. He's freaking broke. He's junk. I mean, I'd like to know how much money he made for downs played, because it's probably disgusting. As far as how many plays he made versus the dollars, how many dollars per play, it's probably ridiculous. Because he just dude couldn't hit the field for us. But there's going to be a lot of crazy guys. I mean, I'd love for us to get Chubb if we could get him. You know, I'd be like, put him out there too. And then we got some depth too. Rotate some guys out in and out that are good. You know, and get rid of Huff. I don't want to get rid of Huff. I want to restructure him, because I think he's up for $17 million this coming year. So they need to restructure him, because Huff is a situational player. He's not a starter. He's a 3rd and long, 2nd and long guy. You can't have him playing 50 plays a game. He needs to play 35 plays and under. Everyone's like, "Oh, Huff had a bad year." I'm like, "No, he didn't. He's playing. He's starting. He's not a starter. He's a situational pass rusher." So when you're asking, it's like it would be like asking Sky Moore to go out and start at X and play. Go out there and go get us 10 grabs and 130 yards today, Sky Moore. Not gonna happen. He's a punt return, and every once in a while run him on like a receiver sweep, or throw him a couple short screen passes or whatever. And if he can get in the open, score a touchdown, that's about it. Yeah, he's a gadget player, and that's what Huff is. Huff is a gadget player on defense. He, like I said, he's 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Let him tee off on the quarterback. Those are the downs where you slide Michael inside, you put Huff and Bosa on the outside, and you go mad rush to the quarterback.
NASCAR package.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, out of a 5-man front, we could scare some people. We could definitely scare some people when everybody's back and healthy. I mean, if Bosa's going to be back, week 1, which who knows, he's a freak athlete, but I still don't want to put him out there too early and have him re-injure something or, do something stupid. I pulled a muscle. I got to take 2 weeks off because I got to, I pulled the core muscle.
I don't want, look, as much as I want him and Michael to come back, I don't want them to come back before they're ready. Same with Kittle. Don't.
Time bomb.
You guys are great, but don't
Time bomb.
rush it.
No,
Don't rush.
Tommy, I don't think Huff's gone, man. I think they restructure. They take that 1 year 17-9 and turn it into 2 years for 17, so he gets 8 per. I think that's what he's going to do. Because the only way Huff is not usable. The only way Huff is not usable is if they went 3-4. Is Matt staying in his lane tonight?
I don't know if I wanted to put that up even. I don't know.
What?
No, Tommy's just busted ass.
He's being sarcastic about it.
All right, Tommy.
That's why you put that emoji at the end. I don't know if you guys touched up on it or not, because it happened 2 hours ago. They actually recorded it from ESPN. The 49ers game in Mexico City next season will reportedly not be against the Raiders or the Broncos. The 49ers will most likely be facing the Dolphins, Rams, or Cardinals.
Oh man, let's make it the Dolphins with Jimmy G starting at quarterback. Come on, let's go.
that'd be good.
Let's make it happen. Now that's a matchup.
Yeah, I don't want to play the Rams both times in that game.
I don't either.
Like we're already playing them week 1 in Australia.
I want Jimmy G going, Kyle, your plays suck, man.
Alex is sword fighting with himself using a.
Well, at least we re-signed Nick Sikel. I know Tommy's probably happy about that.
Panama, do you go in the chat at all for this?
No.
I joked about it. I go. We're getting him ready for the practice squad, and I go his and Zakel's salary comes out of Brock Purdy's paycheck. Brock probably writes Zakel his check.
No, I don't think she's added to the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I was nice. I think I was nice on Twitter. I was just like, oh God, no.
I don't remember if I added you even.
Practice squad guard. They like him, but you know what? They like Zakel like they like Brendel. I don't know why, but they do.
Right at the very tip.
Why I got a feeling they ain't gonna do a damn thing with this offensive line.
Yeah, Panama's not added in here. I'll take care of that.
I hope they do, because at very minimum we need a left guard. At minimum, we need a left guard. I mean, I think what's that guy's name? Dunker or something or other.
Yeah, I seen him.
Yeah,
the big mullet
from
guy.
Iowa. Yeah, from Iowa.
He looks like a good 49er left guard.
He does. He
looks like a Niner left guard. He just does.
He's a mauler.
And he's a big dude. We need the left side to be big, and especially if our center's going to stay small, because Brendel I think is only 285.
Yeah.
He's not big. He's not big. I'd like at least one of our sides to have a couple of road graders on it.
And I know this is crazy, but I still say, whether it's a low pick or not,
take a little bit more time before
unless somebody else takes a chance, we take that dude from Oregon, the guy that I said he tore his ACL. We take him in the draft.
Yeah, you go, Trent Baalke. Let's take the LACL guys.
Hey, he's 6'8". He's 6'8", 340, bro. Like we need.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's big. He might be able to take over for Trent. Does he have good feet though?
No, he's a top 10. He was a top. They were already talking about him being a top 10 pick, and then he got hurt.
Dang.
That's how good. No, that's how good he was. Like they said he reminded them of like Trent. 6'8".
That's big.
Whatever.
The only thing I worry about at the pro level with a guy that big is if guys just work under him. They work under him for leverage and push him back, and he can't get around him. I mean, 345 is a big dude, but still, I worry about good outside defensive ends being able to just get underneath them and push them around and not be able to, and he can't unless he's got, you know, forklift, unless he's got those, you know, unless he's got that guy that his arms are long enough that he can tie his shoes while he's standing there looking at you. Because that's what you need. You need that guy that's got that arm reach. That's you know, you need a knuckle dragger. I don't know how to say it any different. You need a knuckle dragger.
You're like Shaq. He's like Shaq.
Yeah.
6'8", power forward. You know, like
his hands need to be resting around his knees when he's standing up looking at you. If you get those little guys with those little T-Rex arms, they're junk, man. They're guards. They're guards, and they're terrible.
When does the combine start? Next week?
Yeah, next week.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Or you know, like a guy like you know, you need an offensive lineman, you know, that, or like just like, you know, if we draft a guy like a big defensive tackle, we want him to be more like DeForest Buckner, right?
Yeah.
Unless they want more edge guys, that'd be the only thing. I mean, I feel like we have enough edge guys right now, but maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. You know, because we definitely didn't get any sacks and there was no pass rush last year. I mean, no Michael, no Bosa. So, you know, it's a tough go because I feel like with Collins and West healthy, Keon White's going to work into that, you know, setting an edge, pass rush kind of guy too. I mean, he's good. I'd love him to bring Cleveland Farrell back, man.
That's what I said.
He's good for us, man, and he's played well for us both times he's been here. And he's not gonna cost a lot of money, and he isn't gonna be crying and bitching because he's not a starter. He's a perfect like bench piece, good depth piece guy.
And he's still pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, is he 31?
Something
maybe
like that, 31, 32.
Yeah, but like I said, for a bench guy, he's perfect. And he was freaking first round pick. I mean, yes, did the Raiders reach? Absolutely. But at the same time, he's still a damn good football player.
Because I mean, if he would have fallen to us that year, we would have just like, all right, let's see what you can do, and we would have worked with him.
Yeah, but when Mayock drafted him, everyone was like, Mike, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mike? You are a talent evaluator for sports channels, and here you are as a GM going, you know, doing the big reach. Oh, I mean, oh God, I think he should have been picked like way, like, you know, like I said, he was a second rounder. He was a second rounder. He's a second rounder. He was bottom first, early second round guy. And they took him, what was he, like the 7th or 8th pick, right?
4th.
Was he that? Oh, it was the 4th. Okay. Man.
Wow.
Too early, and the Raiders needed a lot more than that back then. I mean, I know they were trying to use him as a foundation piece, but it's like, ugh.
Matt Mann, Sports Illustrator. That's why I really want to love him, man. Told you.
It's kind of like, you know, whoever drafted before us, and then we took Bryant Young. Bryant Young is he's a building block. He's a foundation piece. You know, he's the guy. You know, and then you got guys like Joe, who is a diamond in the rough. You know, the only reason he didn't get drafted in the first round is because they said he didn't have a great arm.
And he looked like a punter. He looked like a punter, dude. He was so skinny. He was so skinny when he.
And I don't think he ever weighed 200 pounds. I think the most he ever weighed was like 180.
He was skinny, dude.
I don't think he ever weighed 200 or 215. Look at Steve Young and look at Joe Montana. Steve Young
was 210. I think Steve was like 210.
225 pounds.
Steve was that big?
Dude, look at his legs, bro. He had
He always had big legs.
Yeah, he had like Roger Craig. He had like Roger Craig legs. I mean that he was in the weight room at BYU.
Because I forget who said it. I think it was either. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have even been Dwight. When Joe walked in, he was like, "Who's that guy? A punter?" And it was like, "No, that's Joe Montana." And they're like, "Oh."
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, like when he came in, when they came in like basically a year apart or whatever, and they became best friends.
Yeah.
Him and Joe were always together.
Yep.
I want to say Joe was the one of the main people that spoke at Dwight's thing.
Right.
He probably was.
I want to say he was the main, like, he was the one that did the big speech at that time.
And I don't know if that stuff is on Rise of the 49ers too, but when Dwight got bad, Eddie DeBartolo brought Dwight to his house. Dwight lived with Eddie D because he couldn't take care of himself. Like Dwight and his wife moved into Eddie's place.
I can believe that.
Yeah, Eddie, man, that dude is just all about, man. He's all about taking care of guys. That dude just, man. When you hear former 49ers from the 80s talk about Eddie DeBartolo, what do they say? Like family, class. They always use the word class, first class. It's crazy.
Okay, I got two things to go over. Two things. One, time bomb. The reason why Jake's not here tonight is because of my fault. I ran too late for the show tonight. I ran in for you guys. I'm sorry. I apologize for being late tonight. It would have been a lot earlier if it wasn't my family situation going on over here. But I do a lot of driving, so it was hectic over here. So, and plus my son's sick, so I'm trying to take care of him also and do the show also. So, yeah, I'm trying to do my best I can do. Okay, Tommy. So, but
you're the man.
Hey, no, I'm not the man. I'm just trying to do what I can do. So, so Jake, I know I ran too late for you, bro. I'm sorry about it. I apologize, but I hope we definitely next Tuesday or whenever we do an NNS, Monday or Tuesday, and then Friday. If Matt Man's off Friday, we'll do this show next Friday. Okay, so you'll be all good to go. Two, we're doing tight ends this week for Mount Rushmore. Tight ends. Name all top four of all time for 49. Go right ahead.
Okay, personal top four?
Yeah, personal top four.
Okay.
49ers, all 49.
Who's going first?
Panda made the soup, but it's not Panda soup.
How about I say ladies first?
Oh, okay.
Ladies first.
I would have to go with my boy Dwight first. Brett Jones, Vernon Davis, and of course, the man, the legend, George Kittle.
I learned last week in Panama that wide receiver, Dwight Clark was wide receiver, not tight end.
So they really didn't. Yeah, they didn't really label him.
I learned it from these guys. I didn't know.
Oh,
no, Dwight was definitely a wide receiver. That's why I was like, whatever. He was big. He was big. You can call him a tight end.
Okay.
No matter.
Ain't that crazy? All this time, I thought he was a tight end.
Yeah, me too.
He's big. He's big. That's why. Dwight's a big guy.
So okay, all good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, my man.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Eric Johnson.
Oh wow.
George Kittle. Brent Jones. And Vernon Davis. And the only reason I put George Kittle at number 3 is because he's just like, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done the thing yet. Once he does the thing yet, I'm moving him to number one. When he breaks all the 49ers tight end receiving records, then I put him at number one.
Fair enough.
I think he's still. There's still some things that he hasn't done yet to pass Vernon.
Yeah, I think he's got the yardage now. I don't know if he's got.
But he doesn't have like the record for most touchdowns by tight ends. Vernon Davis did that twice, 13. He has the most. I think he has the most receptions by a tight end, and most yardage by a 49er tight end. But
yeah,
he's still a few touchdowns behind Vernon, I think.
The guy who caught, and I remember his name. Jake, I forget his last name. Jake something. The one who caught the ball against the Seahawks at the end of last year's game. Tonjes. Would you consider him? Would you consider him putting on Mount Rushmore if he gets any better? If he gets any better.
Well, he's only got to play 12 more years, and then we can talk about it.
Yep. Okay. Hey, I'll be
if he plays about 12 more years, we might be able to throw him into conversation. But you know what the thing is with him? The thing with Tonjes is he's not really a like elite blocker.
Yeah.
So I think he would be like receiving tight ends. We'd have to break him down and say all around receiving or blocking and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know if he would ever make that anyway, just because 100%. I don't think he's got the blocking credentials that the other guys have.
Yeah.
So it's my turn. So let's see. No particular order. Brent Jones, George Kittle, Vernon, and I'm throwing D-Love in there because I think D-Love is one of the most unappreciated tight ends that played for this team. Delaney Walker.
Oh, damn, I forgot Delaney.
I love Delaney.
Delaney.
So for me, Delaney Walker is my tight end version of Garrison Hurst, man. I just love the guy. He was so great, such a great receiver.
Yeah, but his numbers were, like, what do you have? Like 20 catches, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think maybe the most catches he ever had in 1 year was like 35.
I know.
I
And when he went to Tennessee, he tore it up.
I liked him too. I liked Delaney Walker too. I was like, when we drafted them, I was like, ooh, we have 2 tight, but they didn't use them. They didn't
use him. And then when he went to Tennessee, he tore it up. He was their best offensive weapon when he played for Tennessee. There wasn't Chris Johnson.
Yes.
He had a couple really awesome. Like I think he had a couple years where he had like 80 catches for 1,200 yards and like 10 touchdowns.
But then he broke his ankle and he was out for like almost 2 years when he broke his ankle. And but man, I love that guy. I thought he was just dynamite for us during that time. And he would have, it would have been like if Vernon wasn't here, he would have been the guy.
Oh, hey, it's the same thing with Wesley Walls.
Walls. He was good. He was really good.
Wesley Walls, we drafted him. He was a rookie. He was learning from Brent Jones, and the 49ers tried to keep him, and then he was like, "Nah, I want to start."
Yep.
He's like, I'm better. He said, I'm better than Brent Jones, and Brent Jones was like, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that,
but yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where I think that dude was so talented, and he just never got to play. He just never got to play as the lone wolf for us, and so we really never got to see his best. But he was so damn good. Oh, one of my favorite guys.
My list is probably the same as Richie's. It is. That's the only 4 I can think of because I know I can't go back like Matt does. I can't really remember that far back, really. Sorry. But Moose Jones, man. Oh, boy, I loved him when I was a kid. I loved Moose Jones. I really did. He was great. Moose Jones, man. I always remember him. Brent Jones was a great player. He was.
He goes on with Tommy Tolbert on the radio a lot and on his podcast.
I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun when I do my defensive lineman. I'm gonna have fun with that. I got a lot of guys I love, and I got to pick 4. So it's gonna be so hard for me to pick all 4. It really is. I already know who my number 1 is already. So my defensive lineman. So when I come up to that, it'll be fun. Got Moose Jones. I got definitely got to put Vernon there. Vernon Davis. Is Vernon Davis, of course, in the second. Yeah, it was the second catch. Second catch.
Vernon Post.
Yep. Was that the same post as T.O.? Same exact play?
No, I don't know about that, but I know the play was called Vernon Post.
Dude.
Alex Smith chucked that ball in there beautifully.
Which one was it against the Packers? Oh God, was it Vernon or T.O.?
They called that catch 2. That when T.O. did that, against Packers, that was called catch 2.
Okay. I loved the face on Brett Favre's face. I loved his face when he caught that ball. I enjoyed that face so much. He just looked at it. He's like, I couldn't believe he caught that.
What most people don't realize in that game, if that was the game, is that the game he caught the 20 balls in?
I'm not too sure about that.
When he set the record?
That was against the Bears.
That was against the Bears. Okay.
Batman probably know that one.
But I think if I remember that game right, T.O. was having a really bad game where he dropped like 5 or 6 balls in that game. And then came back and caught that ball at the end. Like T.O. had a bad game. He was dropping shit and they were flipping out on him. And he was crying and being all emotional all over the place. And then they reeled him in and he caught that ball at the end of the game. That was T.O.'s coming out party.
Yeah, when he was crying, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that's when he went from being Terrell. That's when he went from being Terrell to T.O.
Mm-hmm. T.O. That's my T.O. Like you say, RKO. That's my T.O. So, of course, I can't think of a 4th one right now, but I gotta put GK on there. I gotta put him on there. I got to, because he's been with us for almost 10 years now. So I gotta put GK in there. And George Kittle, if you all don't know that. George Kittle. There you go. Because even though I don't want to say his name, but he calls him G. Because we all know Travis. He calls him G. So you gotta put G on that list. But of course, my first 2 are Brent Moose Jones, and Vern Davis, and then GK. And my 4th one I get stuck on, so I might have to leave it at that. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. What do you want to close out? Go ahead, close it out. Do what you got to do. Next, you want to talk about something else? Go ahead. Go out in there.
I think we covered enough bases tonight. Okay. I mean, look, Underwear Olympics is next week.
Yep.
So we'll all be looking at that, trying to see who's going to be there for the 49ers. Hopefully John Lynch and Jed will have some sort of a press conference there. Mm-hmm. So we can talk about that, see what they're talking about, what they're looking at. If John's going to address any, team concerns, is he getting promoted? Are they going to potentially bring in, a draftologist to try to help them with the draft? We're going to see it, if all that stuff kind of goes down. Now that the president, is open, now that Al Guido got promoted, so we'll have to see if any of that stuff changes, if they're going to bump John, up to president and put a new GM in. So,
right.
I wonder how this team will look without having John Lynch as our GM. Ooh.
Yeah, but John Lynch is just going to be the guy that shakes hands and kisses babies.
Yeah.
Take him out of the personnel piece.
It's going to be shape up this year, man. It's going to be this year. I think it's going to be a little bit different for me.
Well, right now, Lynch is the lame duck. Yeah. Lynch doesn't have a contract after this year. Kyle's on for 2. So
I just hope we find a lot of those players that nobody scouted, and they ended up being like Upton Stout. I hope we find some kind of player, some kind of offensive lineman, hopefully a guy that nobody knew, and turn him into somebody like Joe Staley or somebody like that. That's what I want to see. We gotta look.
And that's interesting.
We gotta look under the rocks.
Because think about it, in college, Staley was a tight end. So and then became a tackle, going as part of the NFL. So maybe we look for a guy like that for that oversized tight end, and you say, hey, you put on 20 more pounds, you can play tackle. You got a really good point there, Matt. That's a really good point.
A guy that's like 6'6", 265, and he's a great blocker. He probably like a blocking tight end. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna sign you. We're gonna sign you as a UFA. We'll give you like what, 25,000 signing bonus or whatever, and we're gonna turn you into a offensive tackle.
I think it's time
guys out there for that.
I think it's time for Matt Man to go because he's starting to eat. He's eating. I don't want to interrupt him when he's eating.
There you go.
I know how he is. So you guys can enjoy your night ahead. All right.
All right, man.
Guys.
All right, guys.
See you guys in
Stay
chat.
faithful.
See y'all next week.
All right.
guys.
All right.
On. Later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right. There you go. I didn't want to put ban on Panama. But yeah, I thank Panama coming here. I know it's a late notice for her. I apologize for that, Panama. That was a late notice to you. I apologize for it. But I just wanted to see if she'll want to join tonight. Time Bomb, if you're still on there watching, yeah, Jake, I don't know if he's mad at me or not, but in fact, I had a lot of stuff going on today, and it just ran my time over, and I couldn't start to show up any earlier than this. So I'll try my best to get everything going. So and it took me quite a few minutes to get this baby going. So I didn't have anything ready yet. I had the show ready, of course, from StreamYard, but nothing else was ready. So but yeah, shout out to you guys for coming on here. Thanks for your time and everything. And of course, Matt Man, Richie B, and of course, Panama. Let me see here. Go my things real quick. Of course, C-Man, Craig Pohamas, aka GMGD, and of course, Matt Dennis 9. I don't know if I can remember or not, but Matt Dennis 22. I might be wrong on it. Matt 2022 on Instagram. Pretty sure it's 22. And Niner Matt 11, or I forget what number it is. But I said I can't put it on here because it'll be be too much. They don't value too much characters, on these things. So, but Matt Dennis 9 on X. All right, he is our Matt Man Sports Illustrator, and of course, you get a shout out definitely to yours truly, Jake, at Super Beast 86. All right, and of course, Richie B, Rich Bossel, aka Coach Richie B. All right, and of course, I knew he wasn't here tonight. He actually was in the comments like always. So Tommy Huxley, Time Bomb, follow him on Facebook. All right. Josh Gitt, he was actually in Colorado tonight. So Colorado this week, he said to me this week. So he's actually in Colorado. So don't get into his business. The reason why he just told me that, and that was it. So at Josh Gitt 1987. All right. Of course, I have Denise Granger in here, 11 on Twitter. That's where you find her. And of course, I don't really consider her as a special guest because she was on here last week when we first come on here. But of course, Pamela McQueen. You find Pamela McQueen on Facebook as Pamela McQueen. All right. But I thank you for a late notice to her. I thank you for coming on here for late notice. I thank you so much for that. And of course, please smash the like, subscribe button. All right, turn on notifications. And of course, I'm gonna give a shout out, of course, to me and my wife, our show on Monday and Tuesdays. Next Monday and Tuesday. Today's Thursday. I know we're not used to doing Thursdays but Fridays, but in a few days we'll be back onto MM of the Box. starting Monday night between 9 and 10 o'clock Eastern, and of course same time on both nights, and then hoping to do this baby on Tuesday night. Hoping I'm really trying to do this on Tuesday nights. It'll be a lot better because that way everything gets back to back, and try to put everything, squeeze everything into 2 shows, and get 2 shows going for you back to back. Be all good to go. But of course, NNS is of course not a new segment, and with yours truly, Jake and Matt Dennis 9 and Rich Bosshole, I'm sure they'll probably all on it. Probably. I'm not too sure about Matt Dennis. Matt Man. The only reason why he was on this Tuesday night is because he was off. So he might not be on there this come week because he had off that night, but he has to work tomorrow night. So yeah, get my days all mixed up like always. But yours truly, Jake, and of course Rich Bonsall will be on there. Hoping to get Josh back on here, JG. Hope he gets back on there. It'd be great. But if not, it's all good, you know. But yeah. Basically, I just wanted to shout out to other shows. Shout out to you guys. I know. Another thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Shout out to you guys for watching. I was able to share the the show from YouTube to X and tell you guys that we're live because as we speak, X Twitter is experiencing issues with the live streaming post. So if you can find your live show on X and you can share it manually, go ahead, share it manually. So I just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, share from there, and share it to the post to X like that. So that's why I was able to do it. So even though we might have a lot more people watching right now, but it gives me a couple, probably because they saw the post I put on X. So, but I know it gets a lot more than that when it's from here. So, but StreamYard, I don't know if it's StreamYard doing that or it's X itself. It might be X because it's saying it's experienced issues with the live streaming post. So it might be X, like always. So, just get over that. We are live on our major platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, we went over everything else. We're good. Yeah. Like I said, I showed the show has been. Oh no, that was the wrong one. I'm sorry. I told you earlier that was the wrong post. I'm sorry. My bad. That was the wrong one. That was the one I thought maybe that was the other one I was thinking of right now. I just talked about, but it wasn't the right one. So, but I did post it from YouTube to X. So, but yeah, X has got to get their crap together. I'm telling you that there has not been one problem with Twitter, not X. Okay, I'm not talking about X. Before X was even before the name got changed over to X. There's not one problem with Twitter ever since it got changed to X. Twitter has always been good and great, has been going on until they changed the darn friggin' ownership. So I don't know. I don't want to say his name and blast them all around the whole YouTube and everything, but you gotta get your crap together, man. All right. You are probably, if I look up on Google, you're probably a multi-million-dollar platform for all these users that use your platform for their shows. And we're actually paying you for your platform. Before that, we didn't have to pay for nothing. So that's what I don't understand. I don't understand about how you're charging people to use your platform. I just to make money, dude. I'm sure you're probably a $1 million person right now, and trying to create content for people to use your platform. With to me, it's BS because people don't sure how to do that, But of course, yeah, all these other platforms you got to pay for. I'm not too sure if Facebook even has one page. Sure, they have regular Facebook. That's it. YouTube, on the other hand, you got YouTube Music, YouTube TV. You got to pay for them, and you got to pay for YouTube Premium. Did I say that? I think I said YouTube. Yeah, YouTube Premium to use for no commercials. So that's why I love having actually for that. But now they're up the ante. I hope they don't do the same thing. I hope they don't do the same thing for platform. I hope not, because that would definitely stink. But I just want to get my rant going on here. I'm sorry about it just stinks how X has changed so much over the past year now, I say, and now how long it's been since they changed the name and everything. I gotta look that up, but yeah, ever since they changed that name, it's been bad for some reason, and that's the reason why I hate using X, but I love using it because there's a lot more users on there, But they got that baby all situated for people to be happy and use their platform. So, but that's my rant, of course. I know it probably won't do nothing for it, but gotta get your crap together, guys. So, all right, that was me talking, of course, for the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But yeah, I shout out to our shows. So yeah, our shows are all set up for next week. So we're all good to go. All right. And of course, please catch our next episode of Past, Present, Future, sponsored by the Regular 24/7 next Friday. All right. We'll see you guys on Monday with them in box, and we'll see you guys with NNS for next Tuesday, and then box again on Tuesday, and then of course, Past, Present, Future, sponsored by the Regular 24/7 next Friday. All right, guys. Yeah, guys, have a great night. All right. We'll see you when we see you. And we love y'all. Peace out. Keep the faith. Never lose hope, guys. We're out of here. Later.
Ready, go, ready, go, ready.